All right, and welcome to Tabletop Tastings.
My name is Les.
And I'm Steve, and this is the perfect pairing of board games
and whiskey tastings.
That's right. All right, Les, well, what do you have for us this time?
Well, I've gotten all fancy. I got myself a little clipboard here. And the game I've brought for you today is designed by Peter McPherson. Now, he's a game designer and freelance writer from upstate New York. He's newer to board game design, and he has just a few games under his belt. He has co-designed Tiny Towns and Wormholes, and this is the first game that he's really designed by himself.
Cool.
Okay. The artist for this game is Ian O'Toole. What a great last name. And he's an illustrator and graphic designer from Western Australia, and he's got a number of great games under his belt.
O'Toole rules.
O'Toole does rule. In fact, his website, ianotoole.com, is really cool. I recommend checking it out. He started way back from the game The Age of Steam back in 2002. He's made Escape Plan, the 2020 remake of Kanban EV, which is one of my personal favorites. I love that game. And the 2022 edition of Raw, along with roughly 100 other games and game expansions.
Cool.
The game itself is published by Flatout Games. Now, they don't have very much under their belt, but the games that they do have are very good. Games such as Calico, Cascadia, and Point City. And this was also co-published by AEG. Now back to the designer, Peter. He says that this game was heavily influenced by the game Galaxy Trucker. And if you play Galaxy Trucker, you're going to notice that there's a few very similar mechanics at play here.
Cool.
In 2019, Peter and his wife lived in Indiana. And at the time, his wife was a reporter for a local newspaper. And that got him thinking, it could be fun to capture the chaos of a newsroom and how the theme of running a newspaper might actually work in a board game form.
Okay.
4 years later, that initial thought has led to this game. With a 7.5 rating on Board Game Geek, we are playing the 1 to 6 player game, Fit to Print.
Say the name again.
Fit to Print.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's reveal. See. Nice and slow. Okay. Fit to Print.
This looks kind of cool so far.
I've got the box here as well. So Fit to Print. Fantastic. Okay, so what we're doing is we're operating a newspaper over the weekend.
Okay.
So we've got a game board, and the game is made up of 3 different phases. So we're going to play on Friday, which takes up the smaller section of the board.
Okay.
We're going to do Saturday, which takes up the full board, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do Sunday, which takes up the entire board.
Cool.
Okay, so each round will get a little bit longer.
Okay.
This game is really chaotic,
okay,
but it's a lot of fun too. We're going to be making history as we put this game together.
Okay.
So we've got a ton of face-down news articles here.
Okay.
And what we need to do is, over the course of a few minutes, collect as many newspaper pieces as we want to complete our layout for the paper. So we're actually going to be building a newspaper to go out for Friday.
Okay.
Now, I've got a few tiles face up here, and these indicate the 3 different types of tiles that there are. So we've got articles, which make up the bulk of the magazine. So we've got sports and entertainment, we've got the news, and we've got business and technology. So that's pink, blue, and green, but they also put these great little symbols in the corner to indicate which one is it, which.
Excellent.
Now, the newspaper articles, just for getting an article out, it's worth points. In the bottom right corner, it tells you just straight up how many points that you get for it. Now, there's good news and there's bad news. So good news has little smiley faces on it.
Okay.
Bad news, I don't have an example here, but it would be a sad, frowny face for it. And we really want our newspaper to be balanced. So if our newspaper is all joy and there's no sadness, then we're going to lose points. Okay. And if it's all doom and gloom and there's no happiness, we're going to lose points as well. Right. So we want to be as close, we want to be perfectly balanced on our happiness and sadness within the article.
Okay.
Okay. Articles can never be placed next to each other. And I'll rephrase that a little bit. But the same type of articles can never be placed next to each other. Okay. We need good variety in our newspaper layout. So we can't have news touching news. And we can't have sports and entertainment touching sports and entertainment. We can't have business and technology touching business and technology.
Okay.
Okay, so we got to spread out our articles a bit. It's okay to be, let us say, kitty cornered. Those aren't considered touching. Okay. But if they were like that, those would be touching. Okay. So different articles can touch each other, just not the same article. Okay. We've got photos. The newspaper is great with photos. Yeah. Photos on them, their own, aren't worth any points. However, they get added points for being next to certain things. So in this case here, it says you get a point if you're next to either a business and technology or sports and entertainment folder. And there's a bunch of different ones for those. Some of them want to be next to tiles with smiles on them and sadness.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we've got advertisements. So advertisements are not worth any points. However, you got to pay for your magazine to keep it going. So there's different size advertisements, and they've all got little dollar symbols at the end. So what we're going to do after each round is we're going to add up the total number of those dollar symbols. And if somebody gets too much further ahead of the other person with it, they're going to score 10 points. Okay. And same thing. Pictures can't be next to pictures. Advertisements can't be next to advertisements. We got to spread them out because we want a nice, diverse newspaper. Okay. We also have a starting tile to begin our newspaper with. You've got one over there. I've got one here. They're both a little bit different, but it's got an added little bonus on it as well.
Okay.
So mine says I get an extra point for each pair of happy and sadness articles above the fold line. So here's the fold line. So every set I get above there, every pair, that'll be worth a point for me. And what's yours say?
So I get a point for each photo adjacent to an ad.
So you want to bundle up your ads and your photographs. Your starting tile, once we start layout, has to overlap with the star on the board. So remember, we're going to do Friday first, and we're just staying within the confines of that. We each also have our press badge. And that gives us an added little bonus as well. So mine says your mood penalty is reduced by 1 each round. So I mentioned that our happiness and sadness has to be balanced. For each one that it's not balanced, it's going to be -1 point. So if I got 6 happiness and 4 sadness, that would be -2 points. This allows me to reduce that penalty by 1.
Okay. And my press pass is you receive no penalty for 1 unplaced tile per round.
Excellent. So this is where things are kind of fun. We're going to have 4 minutes to build our newspaper. Okay. So what we're going to do is the first part of that 4 minutes is just drawing tiles. So we'll pick up a tile, bring it up, take a look at it, and then decide, are we going to keep this or are we not? If we're going to keep it, we put it on our desk. If we're not going to keep it, we return it back face up. Okay. And we keep drawing until we think we have enough tiles on the desk to begin our layout. So when we get to that stage, we're just going to say out loud, layout, and then we're no longer allowed to draw tiles, and we're going straight to putting the tiles on our board. Following the rules of don't have articles of the same type or pictures or adverts of the same type touching each other. Okay, we got to diversify. Any items left on your desk at the end of the layout phase are -1 point. So it's kind of a balance of making sure you get enough, but not taking too much because that will hurt you. Anything left on your desk, you'll actually save over and bring it into the next round then as well. Whoever goes to layout first will grab the number 1 timer and put it next to them. And at the start of the next round, they're going to get first pick of the next little bonus that'll cover up on the star here. Okay. So I think that's it. So you've got a watch. With your watch, do you have the option to set a timer on it?
I sure do.
Could you set a timer for 4 minutes? But before you do that, I feel like something's missing.
I was hoping that you'd get to that.
What is it?
Before we get started,
what do you got for us
on
today?
this? So any newsroom needs to have a good bottle of whiskey to go with it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
In fact, I bet you most newsrooms have a lot of alcohol in desks.
I would think so. I would think so.
So what do you got for us today?
Well, let me get this set up for you.
Okay.
So you gave me the theme of
Making history.
Making history. So something came to mind when I thought about that. And I think that there's a lot of history that goes along with the Bourbon Trail.
Yes, there is, absolutely.
And definitely with bourbon making.
Ooh. And I personally have done some stops along the Bourbon Trail, and what an adventure that is.
Nice. So I have my little reveal box.
You've upgraded stuff.
I have upgraded.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to reveal to you in one moment. But yes, again, so history, there's a lot of history when it comes to bourbon making, and especially some of the names that go along that are basically synonymous with bourbon.
Okay.
And so I've got one for today. So distillers along the Bourbon Trail have definitely made a name for themselves and made history just by the bourbons and the whiskeys that they have created.
Oh, Steve, I'm so excited.
Me too.
I love a good bourbon. And if it's come from the Kentucky Trail or the Bourbon Trail, it's going to be pretty darn good.
It actually has quite a bit of history. So I'm going to get into that in a moment. But this particular bottle that we're going to enjoy originates from the Stitzel Weller Distilling Company.
Say that 10 times really fast.
Exactly. Which was founded in 1935. However, the W.L. Weller came up with his recipe way back in 1840.
Ooh, so there's some history.
There's
to
definitely
this.
a lot of history. And they really have tried to keep to that original recipe. And so that's what we have today. We have a W.L. Weller bottle. And you haven't seen it yet.
I know, that's why it's exciting for them, but I don't get to see
the
it.
reveal.
Ooh.
So W.L. Weller, and this is the Special Reserve. So I want to tell you a little bit about W.L. Weller, and specifically this bourbon that we have here. So this is a bourbon, and like any bourbon to be truly called that, it needs to be at minimum 51% corn, or else it's just not bourbon. That's law.
Okay.
That's American law. So
Otherwise you go to bourbon jail.
yeah, I believe there are some pre-set fines for that.
Probably is, yeah.
But anyway, so most bourbons, it's got to be 51%. Some are a lot higher than that, maybe 75, 74. And then the rest of it, they'll put the mash of like a rye, maybe a little bit of wheat, and so on. So W.L. Weller really wanted to make a recipe that was smooth and soft, because that's what he wanted, and that's what he liked. That's what he made.
Soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit softer, a little smoother.
You've got me excited. I can't wait to try this.
So keeping true to that, he used 51% bourbon. Okay. However, this
51% corn?
Excuse me, yeah, 51% corn. However, they call this the Wheated Bourbon because the rest of it is wheat. So obviously the bulk of it, 51%, is going to be corn. But in these ones, it's called the Wheated Bourbon because it's wheat. Heavy.
Wheat is delicious when it comes to whiskeys.
You know the way to my heart. I love a good wheated whiskey, especially a good wheated bourbon. I haven't had this one, so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm telling you about W.L. Weller. His slogan was he wanted to make an honest whiskey at an honest price. And so he really wanted to stick to the basics of it. In fact, so he brought on someone that you'll know. Everybody that knows bourbon has heard of this guy.
Oh, the
Pappy.
Oh, Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Julian Pappy was his nickname. Van Winkle. He was brought on by W.L. Stellar, and that's who actually created or made the distillery of Stitzel Weller.
So there really
Back in
is
35.
some strong lineage behind this.
There's a ton of history to this collection.
Sweet.
Yeah, and they have quite a few, so I'm looking forward to get a number of those bottles and trying them, but this is the one we're going to have today. They really wanted to keep to the basics of it and make sure that they just put out a really great product. But something I found really cool, they even had a sign outside of the distillery that said, "No chemists allowed." So they said, whiskey making is not about science and scientists, it's about the art of making it. So, I mean, if you do research and you do the whiskey trail, you know there's a lot of science behind it. However, if you meet some of those master distillers, you know there's a lot of art that goes behind the making of a great bottle of bourbon, bottle of whiskey, bottle of scotch.
It's always fun to hang it with an MD.
Yeah. Right? So anyways, that's what they have created, and they kept to the original recipe. Let's give it a try. Because I think, just having revealed the board game, I think we got a perfect fit here. Because I bet you, in the 1930s and 40s and 50s, there was a lot of Weller being drank in a lot of newsrooms.
Without a doubt.
I think so too. So, right? All right. So this is the special edition of the W.L. Weller. It is the Wheated Bourbon. Let's give it a try. And you know what? It has won a ton of awards.
Sweet.
So I think we're in for a real good treat here.
It's about to get the most important one. Will it pass the tabletop tastings? Excellent. We don't have a thing, but it'd be super cool. I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. Nice healthy pour.
Nice healthy pour. I got a little bit of Angel Share there on the table.
On the table will enjoy.
Lick it up if you like. So we'll just put that right there. All right. So what do you think so far?
I think it blends at the table nicely.
So it smells smooth, eh?
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely get lots of the caramel. That's a true bourbon. But so a lot of that caramel, that sweetness comes from the corn, but I know that there's a heavy amount of wheat in that. So you've had a taste? What
I
do you
don't think I've ever had anything so smooth. And I'll be honest, up to this point, I don't know if I've been able to define myself what smoothness in a whiskey actually is.
Yeah.
But this is smooth.
Yeah, it's nice. Some people will say, oh, you call it smooth, that's a newbie thing. However, that's what W.L. Weller wanted. He wanted something that was smooth and soft.
I've never experienced anything like that before, Steve. Like how could you possibly describe a fluid as soft?
Yeah, no, but it
is. I know, that's what's
It
nuts.
totally is. Yeah. So it's got lots of the normal bourbons taste and aromas to it, but I have to tell you, I love the wheated portion of this.
I love this stuff.
It makes it pop. So anyways, W.L. Weller, that's awesome. Pappy Van Winkle had his hands in the creation of this. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Do you know who distills this nowadays?
No. Who?
Buffalo Trace.
So I've been to the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
I was waiting for
They
it.
make a bunch of different bourbons there, but their process is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like those people are so friendly, and you arrive on site and see these big barns with all these barrels in it. There's so much amazing stuff that comes out of the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
Yeah, it's awesome. So they picked that up and have run with it. So it's fantastic. This is really good.
I like it. Okay, do you want to put it on our shelf behind us? We'll keep it displayed.
Put it right there in the center. The original wheated bourbon.
Okay, excellent. Well,
Okay.
that is definitely newsworthy.
Yeah.
And I'm
think
excited
so.
for us to get started.
Okay.
So, the last thing that I did not mention is on the board,
Okay.
the person with the biggest section of white space, that is section of the board that you
Pull out
haven't
my timers.
been able to fill, is going to lose some points. And so they'll lose 1 point. Whoever's got the most white space is going to gain 3.
Okay.
For those watching, there are a few slight variations in the rules for the 2-player game, so we're going by those rules. If you're playing 3 or more, look up the differences that are in the rules there. They're quite minor, but a few little changes. But the white space is one of those differences. Okay, so if you want to start our 4-minute timer, again, all we're going to do is we're going to start. So we place our first piece first. We can do that now, and you can move this around anywhere you want. It's just it has to touch, has to overlap the star. We got to stay within the boundaries of the newspaper.
Can I go this way?
No, so that's actually a good point. All news articles, because this is an actual newspaper. All articles have to be in the correct orientation. Okay, so if you want to hit that timer,
let's do it.
Start again when you grab it.
We're just collecting. And we're putting on the table first.
On the table, if you're going to keep it. If you're not going to keep it, return it face up to the stack here.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, we're going. Remember, we're looking to balance mood. We're looking to have a good assortment of articles so that we're not running into each other. Got to pay for this stuff with advertisements. Ready, we're going to yell layout. Layout! You can keep going though.
Oh, I get to keep going?
It's 4 minutes total combined. So
Oh, okay, too.
the more time you spend picking, the less time you got laying out. Oh, I've made some mistakes.
Find some negative boys here. So we gotta fill this whole Friday.
As much of it as you can.
Okay, I'll do layout.
Okay. Well, it's funny how our sense of perception.
Yeah. And then so spaces.
So it's okay to have multiple blank spaces. You just don't want the biggest blank space. You can also fill up spaces by putting the articles in upside down. You still have to worry about tape the right way.
Okay. Too many.
Okay, I'm finished. Your alarm will go off.
Yep.
38 seconds.
Oh, that's that way. That's that way. Well,
Okay,
all right, I am done.
you're done. How much time left? 16 seconds. That went pretty.
Okay, we're done.
Excellent. So we're done. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just check each other's layouts to make sure we don't have any broken rules.
Okay.
So, in Steve's side, I see an advert next to an advert.
Okay.
So one of those is illegal. So you can choose any one and flip it over.
I can just move it or no?
No, you flip it upside down.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent. Everything else looks to be good. Okay, we'll check mine. I think.
Hey, you moved this.
It has to just overlap the star. So I think the star is right here.
Oh, I didn't know I could actually move this during after I started.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. I could have moved
That was a
it.
good. Yeah, you could have moved it. It's a learning game. It's a learning game.
Learning, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add up your total article points. So those are the points just in the bottom right-hand corner of the 3 different article colors.
6, yeah.
6, okay. And for myself, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and then we're going to add up any picture bonuses, so photos. So you've got 2 photos here, so that one gets a point for being next to sports and or business and tech. So it's not next to any business and tech articles, so it's not worth anything. That one is next to, one of those. So sports. So you do get 1 point for your photos.
And this one here too.
Oh yeah. So that one
is next to the sports.
Yep. So an extra point there as well. So a total of 2. With mine, I've got this photo, and it is next to one news article, so that's 1 point. This one is next to 2 different articles that match, so I get a total of 3 points there. Okay, your centerpiece, which was the first one we put down. What's yours say? So 1
adjacent
point
to an ad.
To a photo adjacent to an ad. Okay, so you're adjacent to one ad, so you get 1 additional.
Oh, each photo adjacent to an ad.
Oh, each photo.
Yeah.
So it's
just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Okay. My centerpiece says 1 point for each pair of happy and sad articles above the fold. So the fold is here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 happy, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 3 sad and 4 happy. So that would be 3 points then, because there's 3 sets there. White space. Who's got the biggest white space? Steve does.
Me.
So that's negative 1 point.
Okay.
And I get 3 points for that.
Okay.
Mood. So add up your total sad faces and then add up your total happy faces.
I'm even. I have 3 and 3.
3 and 3, so you're even. So you're good on that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 happy, and I get a reduced mood. So that puts me at flush for that as well.
Okay.
And then leftovers. That's how many pieces are left on your desk. So how many pieces do you have left on your desk?
I have 2. However, I get
Got your bonus there.
I get 1.
That's -1.
Yeah.
And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces left on my desk, so -4. So we're going to add those up. 8, 9, 8, 7, 11 plus 9 is 20. Minus 4 is 16. Okay, so coming out of the first round, you've got 7 points. I've got 16 points.
Okay.
We now need to look at our revenue dollars. So that's how many dollar signs are visible on your board from your ads.
I have 3.
And I've got 3 as well. So we're going to do 3 and 3. And again, remember, if we get 5 ahead of one person, then that's an extra 10 points, which can be huge for this.
Could be huge. Huge.
Okay, so that's one round of 3 rounds.
All right.
So we'll kick into the next. Before
That
we do,
was a
though,
busy day of putting together a newspaper. So.
that was busy. We've had a little more time now with the, what's it called again? Weller?
Weller.
Just Weller.
Weller Wheated, yep.
What was that other word you were using?
W.L. Weller was the name
okay.
of the man that came up with it, yeah. He was kind of the start of Pappy Van Winkle. He brought him on to be his master distiller, which is
Do you think the W stands for Winkle?
No.
It
does not.
Okay.
It's like
cool.
Warren or I forget.
This is just so good, though. And
yeah, I'm really happy with that.
it finishes quickly in your mouth. Like, it doesn't hang on for too long, right?
Yeah. No, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's good. Okay.
And it's really, like, you can find it in a lot of places.
Sweet.
So it's really accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Round 2.
So
what we're going to do, everything on our desk stays there, so we get to keep that for next round. Everything else returns face down,
Okay.
and everything that's up already will flip upside down as well.
Not my game piece.
I just gotta mix them up a little bit. There's one more there. Okay, so I went out first that time, or I went to layout first.
Okay.
So we're gonna get rid of these. These are done now. I'll take that one and get rid of it.
Okay.
We got another stack of them here. So
Okay.
there's little bonuses.
Yeah.
So we're gonna shuffle them up. We're gonna draw 3. Because I went out first, I get to choose which one I want.
Sure.
They're also double-sided, so there's different abilities on the back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just sit back and enjoy my Weller while you choose. That is really well rounded.
Okay, I'm gonna take this one. You get to look at those and choose yours.
All right.
Weller, you're a good man. I like your whiskey Weller than I like some others. That's smart, isn't it? Okay, so you chose yours.
I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to figure out my piece here. So.
Okay, so what's yours saying?
So mine is score the centerpiece as if it were a photo of a color of your choice. So it's +2. The centerpiece may be placed anywhere on your paper.
So it's one or the other.
Oh,
you
okay.
choose which side you want. So you can either put it anywhere, or you can make that a photo that matches an article beside it and then score points for it.
Okay. So I get to choose that as I place, though.
I think we choose the side now, and then...
Sure you do.
Actually, you know, I'll be honest, I don't know.
Okay.
I've been playing it where I choose the side and put it down, and then...
Okay, I'm going to go with that. It gives me 2 victory points, or 2 points.
Okay.
So I'll do that. So.
And mine is a straight up -2 points.
Okay.
But then I do get a point for every 2-point article I have.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Yeah.
Okay. And same thing, it's got to overlap the star, except now we're on Saturday,
whole
so we're
thing?
doing the whole page.
Okay.
If you want to set the timer again, we can kick off into this.
That I can do. 4 minutes.
4 minutes on the clock.
On the clock. And it's going.
It's gone. Okay.
Yep.
So we begin. I do like how this game really does emphasize how bad we are at determining how many pieces of cardboard it takes to fill up this sheet.
Mm-hmm.
If you're next to a sad tile.
A sad time.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking for happiness, man.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Okay, layout.
Yeah, go ahead. Whatever you need. Layout.
Doesn't fit. I have way too much stuff.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're taking the whole page. All right, the whole page. That changes everything.
You have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. Ooh, I thought I grabbed a few more of those.
Do we know how much time's left on the clock?
Yeah, we got a minute and a half.
Okay.
Can't have. Yes, I can.
A disaster, Steve. A disaster.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too. You can't have two articles of the same, but you can have two articles
Just
of
not
different.
touching.
As long as they're different, they can be over there, right? So they can go there. And, oh, he's too big. Hello.
Okay, Prince.
Oh, I'm done. Shoot. I ran out of time.
Did it go off?
Yep. I totally ran out of time.
Okay, so if
I
you're
screwed that up big
and
time.
this one, I don't know if it was part of this or if it was from my desk. So I'm going to put it on my desk and assume it was. First thing we'll do is we'll check our layouts to make sure they're all in adherence. Everything with yours, yeah, that's good.
I think we're okay.
Clean that up.
Got a little bit on
A little bit.
the mucked up side there.
I think you're good on yours. And if I check mine out,
No, I'm not. I put a piece in illegally.
why?
I thought it was up and upside. It was supposed to be this way.
Oh, so you just flip it upside down then. You can leave it there. It's just upside down. Good call. I missed that.
Yeah. To
Okay.
be honest.
Mine all looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll go through the score list. So
I really
Steve,
messed this up.
for Saturday, how many article points do you have?
All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 points. 9?
9.
Okay. For myself, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then your photos. Let's go to your photos. So this one here, it's got to be next to SAT articles. Nada. This one here has got to be next to business and tech, and it's next to 1, so 1 point. For myself, my photo here has to be next to sports and entertainment or news, and I've got 1, 2 news articles, so 2 points. And this one has to be next to happy articles, and I've got 1, 2 of those, so that's a total of 4 points. Your centerpiece, what's your centerpiece say?
So it can be anywhere. I just get 2 points.
Okay, so Steve gets 2 points for that. Can't mess that one up. Okay.
Nope.
That's good. And I'm minus 2 points, but then I get a point for every 2-point article. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 2-point articles. So that would be 4 points. Minus 2, it's 2 points.
All right.
And then white space. So my biggest white space is 4.
Oh, I got tons of white
Yours
space.
is huge. So minus 1 for Steve, and then 3 points for me. And then your mood. How much happy articles do you have? How many happiness?
2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got 4. So
Okay, that's pretty good. So that's minus 1.
Yep.
And then for myself, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 happiness. So difference of 3, but with my modifier, it drops it, so that's -2 for me. And then leftovers. How many on the desk? Do we?
Oh my goodness!
Do we have enough time to count?
No, not really. I really mucked that up.
What do you got on there?
3, 6, 7.
So -7.
But I get one that
Oh,
minus,
okay.
so it's
So
-6.
-6.
Woohoo!
Okay, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on mine, so -5. Okay, so I'm just going to total up our totals for that round. So you had 9, 10, 11, 12, and from that we're subtracting 8. So that would be 4 points, plus your previous round, 7 plus 4 would put us at 11. For myself, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, -7. So it puts me down to 13, plus my 16 from the previous round is 29. And then round ads. So how much ad revenue did you generate?
3, 4, 5.
5 is good. So that gives you a total of 8 after both rounds. For myself, 3, 4, 5 as well. And same thing, gives us a total of 8. So we're balanced on that front. Okay, we go into the final round.
Okay.
So again, what stays on our desk stays there. We're going to take everything off of this, flip it over. We'll take our centerpiece out. Give those a good little mix around.
Yep.
Okay. We go to Sunday's paper. Draw the next 3 off the top. And I'll choose.
I'm not doing so great at the game, but I really picked a good whiskey, though.
You sure did.
Oh, it is good.
Your newspaper may not be newsworthy, but your bourbon sure is.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm going with.
If you want to set our timer for us.
And go.
Go. Layout. done? Okay.
33 seconds.
Sweet.
All right.
Good done. Okay, so do a little check of the board. You get two photos next to each other.
My photos may be adjacent.
Oh, snap.
Boom.
Okay, that's good.
Photos may be adjacent. That's why I took that one.
Advantage of that. Everything looks great. Checking out my board. I think everything looks good. Okay, so we'll go to scoring. Well done, sir. Yeah. Well done. Okay, so articles. What do you got for your Sunday articles?
2, 4, 6, 8.
8. Okay, for myself.
Plus 2 for the.
We'll do the bonus after.
Okay.
Okay, and then for myself, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Photos. What do you got for photo bonuses?
Not a whole lot, because I didn't have a ton of articles.
Okay, but this one here can be, so you get 1 point for that one.
Yeah.
And then this one here.
Nope.
No, this one here,
Nope.
You get 1 point for that one.
Okay.
And that's it. So I think that was 2 or 3 total?
2.
2, okay. Photos for myself. This one here is next to both a news and a tech and business, so that's 2 points. This one here is next to 3 different sad articles, so that's 3 points, so a total of 5. This one here is next to a business, 6. This one is next to 2 happy faces, so 7, 8. And this one is next to both of those. So I actually get 10 points in for the bonuses.
Now he's just gloating.
Now I'm just gloating. Your centerpiece, it's 2 points plus. Photos may be adjacent, so straight 2 points.
Yeah.
For I get a $1 for each white space area with at least 3 squares in size. So I've got 1, 2, 3 of those. Mm-hmm. So I don't get points for that, but I get $3 signs when I go to the calculation for it.
Yep.
Okay, white space. Who's got the largest white space? My largest is actually 8 spaces this time.
So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9. Okay, so you get -1 there.
You suck.
I get 3 points. And then mood. How you doing on mood?
I have 2, 4, 6, and I have 2, so I have 4 difference.
Okay, 4 difference.
Sad.
Okay, so -4.
4 sad.
And then for me, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sad. And I've got 1, 2, 3 happy, plus my bonus, so that would be 4. So -2 points for me there. And then leftover pieces. You did pretty good there with just 1.
I don't get a minus for that one.
Oh.
Because of my...
Yeah, so you're good on that, and I've got -2 on that. So 10, 12, 12 positive -5 becomes 7 points. 18. I've got 19, 22 points. -4 is 18. Plus 29 is 47. Okay, and then dollar signs, or money signs. How many money signs do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So 8 for Steve, so total of 16. For me, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus my 3 from my bonus, so 9. And that gives me a total of 17. Okay, so end of the game scoring. I finished with 47 points.
Nice.
But I have played it a couple times preparing for this.
Sure,
and Steve, you finished with 18 points for a newspaper. So that is Fit to Print, the 1 to 6 player game by Flatout Games and AEG. What are your thoughts on that?
I liked it. I'm looking forward to playing it again. Obviously, once you've played it once, then you can have a little bit of an idea. It's hard to figure out what sizes of everything that you need, and then grabbing it, and then you've got to think about the sad and happy and the type of articles, and so there's a lot going on in that 4 minutes.
Yeah, and I like it because it's a pretty simple teach.
Yeah.
But there is really a ton of strategy to it.
There is, yeah.
Especially even just knowing when to stop drawing.
Yeah.
And what tiles to keep and what not to keep.
Yeah.
What's nice with this game is it does play 6 players, which I always like it when a game accommodates
Yeah,
6.
6 is nice.
However, because it's got that 4-minute timer around, it doesn't really add that much time to the game if you've got 6 people playing.
Exactly.
A little bit when you're counting up people's scores,
Sure.
but otherwise it's a quick playthrough. So
Yeah.
you can knock off a full game of this easily in 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love it. And they do nice. They do, doesn't have to just look at the colors. They got the symbols for me. So that's fantastic. And it's visually appealing. And I love the little desk.
And all the little
That's so
desks
cool.
are a little bit different.
Yeah, I see that.
So yeah, they
You got a kind of messy. Oh, I got a messier desk. Yeah.
nice little bit of style to
I love it.
So when we're talking about the
I can
game
show you.
overall,
That's
I'll
really
show you
cool.
my desk too.
That's so
A little
fantastic.
different there.
I love it.
And there are 6 desks. All of them are completely different. There is also another layer of complexity
Okay.
where you add in additional criteria for each day. So there's a deck of cards, one for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it adds an extra layer of rules to it. Personally, I think that there's enough going on with this between that and your, everyone's little
Yeah, you
cover
get your
story.
little starting. Yeah.
That I think it's just enough. I think it's perfect the way it is. But if
Yeah.
you do want to add more complexity to it, the option is there to
Yeah.
do that.
Maybe once you've played a few times, and then it's like, okay, let's switch it up a bit.
Right. Now, I do have one major complaint against this
no.
game.
You didn't.
Major. And I think it's something
AEG, you
that
didn't.
AEG, they're a frequent offender when it comes to this list. And I've never, I've seen bad board game inserts, right? This is by far one of the worst. It's not good.
Oh, no.
It's not good. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So this is the box.
The box is beautiful. By the way.
It's nice small scale as well. You can't put everything in the box.
Really?
Yeah.
So once you've punched everything out, it doesn't all fit.
It doesn't all go back in. So I'll show you. So we've got all of the game components out here for 2-player games. So I'm going to open up and let's just see how much space is left inside this box.
To put everything now in there.
Okay. So this is the box.
Yeah.
Right. How am I going to get the rest of this back in here? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I did
You
get
have to take apart the desks every time.
right, which I'm not doing, because then they'll stop going back together.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
What I'm going to end up doing, because I did get everything in here, but the lid wouldn't close fully, which, I mean, it takes a while, but there's not a single insert in this board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip out this cardboard thing and throw it away, so that I've got room to actually place everything
all the way
inside
across.
this. Because if you start pulling these in and out repeatedly,
it's gonna wreck.
then they're just not going to stay together.
Yeah.
AEG, do better.
Yeah.
Any sort of insert to hold this stuff together would go a long, long way. And then set up for it. I mean, they did put baggies in. I gotta give them props.
got the
It
baggies,
goes in the baggies. But set up for games when there's no good storage solution for them is annoying.
Okay.
This game is a bit simpler, so that's not too bad. But
Yeah.
give me, it's nice you've got the small form box.
Yeah.
But give me a box you can actually put the stuff in.
So AEG is going to get a Get Better Soon card, because they need to get better.
That's right. Otherwise, I really enjoy this game. It came out in 2023.
Okay.
It's a great little game, and it's a good one for, if you're doing a big board game day as a little filler game to play in between rounds or while you're waiting for
And
someone
6
to
players
show
is
up.
nice too, because a lot is like 5. Okay, who's got 5? Or 4, right? So 6 players, nice, yeah. And it's visually appealing. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good.
And if you actually read the news articles on them,
Yeah, they're pretty
A lot
cool.
of them are pretty funny.
Yeah, you don't have time when you're running through, but because you're just looking at symbols and so on. That's cool. Yeah, it's very good. I like it. It's very good. And so, what do you think about that whiskey?
So I
Or that
actually
bourbon.
think this bourbon slightly outshines this game. I really enjoy this game, but where the pairing I think is the most complementary to it is that fit to print. It's over quick, right? It's a quick experience. It's a good experience, but it's short and it's over quick.
Yeah.
And that actually makes Weller a fantastic pairing for it.
It does.
Because this is delicious, but it's over quick. It doesn't linger too long on the palate.
Yeah.
It tastes really good,
Yeah.
but once you're done drinking it, it's gone pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think that's what he meant by soft. I think he meant that it's not going to stick around. It's not like we didn't do, the chemists did not get their hands on this and make it into something it shouldn't be. He just wanted it soft and smooth. And I think that's really what they hit on. So kudos to Buffalo Trace for keeping to that original recipe and really just bringing out a great product every single time. I think that if you can grab yourself a Weller, get yourself a fit to print, you'd have a nice afternoon. Nice and easy for both of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what we've learned today is if you're going to play fit to print, you want to pair it with a nice bottle of
W.L. Weller Special Reserve, the Wheated Bourbon.
We love doing the show for you.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
And share with your friends. Tell others about us. The more people that get to know this, the more people have a chance to enjoy some nice bourbon or whiskey or scotch or whatever it may be with a good board game.
Exactly, yeah. So hit us up on YouTube, but we also have our Instagram, really heavily putting out videos on that. And so like and subscribe to all of those and share with your friends. Share with the people you don't like. We don't care. So just share it.
Right, and they will like us.
They will.
Les.tabletop tastings on Instagram. Our main channel is Tabletop Tastings on Instagram as well.
Perfect.
Where else do we exist?
And I'm Slice, Dice, and Drams, and because I love pizza, I love board games, and I love whiskey.
You're taking it up to the next level. It's the trifecta.
Yeah, perfect. So that's all of ours, and we'll have that in the notes. And please just share and like and support us. We really appreciate it.
We sure do.
So that's our episode 5 of Tabletop Tastings.
That's right. My name is Les.
And I'm Steve.
Have a great day.
You too.